transfer, and it's Stony Brook who starts things off with the first possession. Here's Sandra Frau Garcia, the point guard, leading the offense. Caitlin Frost, a transfer from St. Bonaventure, now in her sophomore year. And here is Brantley, the leading returning scorer. She's a native of upstate New York and is one of the top high school players that this area has seen in a long time. The time running out on this first possession, and Frau Garcia can't get the shot off. It's a shot clock violation, a perfect defensive start for the Qs.
They had Stony Brook in an absolute blender on that possession. Great defense, great defense.
Dominique Darius, the starting point guard this season for Syracuse, takes it up the floor. She's joined in the starting five by Layla Felia, the freshman Camden Nelson, Uche Izoje, and Sophie Burrows, the lone returner in the starting five. Stony Brook wants to play really quick on offense this season. Here's a look at their starting lineup. It all starts with Brantley, but in addition to her, Chloe Oliver, Sandra Frau Garcia, Melissa Mwanza, and Caitlin Frost. Here's Darius in the corner. She came from the University of Southern California. Uche gets her first points of her collegiate career. The 6'3" freshman puts the orange on the board, and it's 2-0. Brantley knives to the basket, and it's way too strong. Hughes pushing the pace. Darius to the rack, off the glass and in. That's something you can expect a lot of from this Cuse offense, running in transition. And big for Darius to get those points there. She was scoreless in the exhibition, Danny.
Yeah, she definitely struggled in that exhibition, but again, transfer from UCLA, gonna be fun to watch.
And a steal there from Darius. Here she comes down the court. And a little bit too strong on that layup. Frost stops and puts it in. Stony Brook picks up its first points of the season, and it's Caitlin Frost, the transfer from St. Bonaventure, now in her sophomore season. Very experienced, though, for an underclassman, 22 years old, as Sophie Burrows' three is a little bit too strong. Frost through the defense, rejected by Izoje. We expect to see a lot of blocks from her. She led the Women's Japan Basketball League in blocks last season. An athletic 6'3" center. Izoje can dunk. Don't expect her to do it in games, but Felicia Legette-Jack said that she's done it a few times in practice already. That is around and out for Mwanza, and here comes the orange once again. They like to push the pace. Felia in the corner. A little bit too strong. Baseline drive, again through contact, and this time Frost gets it to go.
Yeah, Adam Frost just found a hole in the Orange's defense right there.
Here's Camden Nelson, the freshman from Connecticut, off the iron, gets her own rebound and puts it in. There's the first collegiate points for the freshman. Was the Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Connecticut last season, and gets a start here in her debut.
Gonna be hearing a lot of that tonight.
Mwanza back to the basket. It's gonna be a really tough matchup down low against all the size in this SU front court.
Exactly, it's gonna be crazy to think.
But a sloppy basketball game. The teams combined to shoot 14% from three. That's a long two that's off the mark. And how about the freshman guard, Camden Nelson, picking up the board and now pushing the pace. Felia tries another deep ball and connects this time. First points in orange for Layla Felia, and I think that Syracuse fans are gonna get quite used to hearing that name pretty often. Dominique Darius. First of two shots for Janae Brantley is good. Brantley started 23 games last season, averaged just under 9 points in 31 minutes. It's double figures 8 times, but this team's gonna need her to do that a lot more this season as she makes both free throws before checking out of the game as Chloe Oliver makes her way back in. Now the full court press in action for the first time. We'll see if the Orange can handle it. They had a lot of issues against full court pressure last year in the opener against Niagara.
And it's tough, Adam, especially for a team that wants to play with such fast pace. That full court press can really throw teams in a blender.
Sophie Burrows, now an upperclassman. Really the leader of this team, the leader out of all the returners. Hawkins off the glass and in. A chance for a three-point play for Shy Hawkins. Her first. And Hawkins converts on the three-point play. Hughes leads by 6.
Hawkins shot 75% from the charity stripe last year, so reliable at that.
So there's going to be a big focus on free throw shooting today for Syracuse. It missed 13 in the exhibition against Damon. Those little things are what Felicia Leggett-Jack really wants to clean up at this point of the season, as a bunny layup off the mark from Frost, and the Orange once again push the pace. Nelson fouled. That's another one against Igbirica.
On that last possession, a lot of pressure in the paint, and you kind of talked about it. A lot of size for Syracuse in that front court. It's going to be a problem for Stony Brook.
Syracuse is already winning the rebounding battle 7-4. Burrows, the catch and shoot, and it's money.
Balance midi, love to see it.
Frau Garcia pushing the pace. Here's Chloe Oliver into the corner. Once again, Frost. And guarded tightly by Journey Thompson. And there is really nowhere to go against this Syracuse defense. That's just thrown into the air and too easy for Layla Filia to snatch. And now Syracuse has numbers. Here's Burrows, but she'll slow it down.
You look at the opening tip of the game in the paint. Stony Brook's not going to see a lot of points in the paint tonight.
Filia all the way to the rack, off the glass and good. Layla Filia's got 5 points already as that goes out, but it will stay on that end of the, taking a big vocal role within the team this year in her 3rd season with Felicia Leggett-Jack. One new player on the court right now for Syracuse. It's Angelica Velez, and she's got the ball in her hands. Filia traveled. Just got a little bit too antsy, and it goes back the other way.
Yeah, I think initially she wanted to shoot it, then saw a lane, tried to attack, and can't do that.
Kira Scott also on the floor for the first time today. Another player in her 2nd year with the Orange, a true sophomore. She's playing defense right now against Caitlin Frost. Joanna Potter. Now here's Oliver. Time running out. You got to do something. Oliver knives through traffic and puts a little bit too much on the layup. Velez looking ahead. What a pass to Thompson. And the Orange are just absolutely rolling right now. That's a 9-0 run. Frau Garcia looking to stop it. She's got an open player. Oliver can't connect. And Thompson picks up the board. Angelica Velez setting the table. Transferred in from LSU last season. She started 5 games for the Orange. Struggled at times with turnovers, almost 2 per game. But is a very high IQ player. Expected to be a really key contributor off the bench. Filia, time running out. And that one had no chance from almost half court. So Filia with that will take a seat on the bench, and Dominique Darius checks back in. Already a number of different lineup combinations for Syracuse.
And they can do that quite easily, just the amount of mix on this team and how good their chemistry is. A lot of mix and match with this squad.
It was really incredible looking back to the opener for Syracuse, just how many players played. There was no one who got over 20 minutes, which, if that tells you anything, it's that everyone got a lot of minutes. There were 10 players who had at least 10, and that's paying off so far in the opener. 7 players already on the scorebook.
And Adam, that's especially tough for teams that are scouting Syracuse. They don't know who's going to get the burn.
A foul was just called against Kira Scott. Frau Garcia, the transfer from the University of Illinois, Chicago. A true table setter, had more assists than points in the last 2 seasons. But her offense having a lot of trouble here, and there's another turnover. Velez with her eyes ahead. Tries it, a deep 2, nothing but net.
Looking for a pass at first, then said, you know what, I'll do it myself, and just laces one.
Syracuse has made each of its last 7 shots. Stony Brook has missed 6 in a row, make it 7 in a row. As Velez keeps it in, and Syracuse looks to keep on adding to its lead.
11-0 run for the Orange.
Zoj, too strong, and she commits the foul.
Yeah, it's going to be an over the back. Just tried to moss her right there and couldn't come down with it.
It's going to be one of the big things this season for Uche Zoj, is trying to stay out of foul trouble. That was definitely an issue in the exhibition for her. 3 fouls in 14 minutes, but she was 9 for 10 from the field in that exhibition game with 19 points. So she's got all the talent in the world, and athleticism basically makes her jump out of the gym, but it's just going to be, making sure that she's not too aggressive, which can be tough at times for freshmen.
It's going to happen, too. When you're as physical as a player as Zoj is, you're going to get those fouls.
Wanza the rebound. Zoj gets the board, as discussion here between the officials, and they'll say that it's an out of bounds, and it'll go towards the Orange. Teresa Stuck, Ashley Birch, and Kevin Fahey are officials today. That is actually a foul, not an out of bounds. It goes against Janae Brantley, her first.
Haven't seen a Seawolves bucket in just under 5 minutes now.
First, they need to stop this Syracuse offense. They try and force feed Zoj, but it's taken away. Let's see if Frau Garcia can set things up. Tries to do it herself. The pull-up jumper off the mark.
And nothing going. They're trying to force shots because they just know it cannot work in the paint.
Scott to the middle, steps through and sinks it. How about it? Kira Scott picks up her first points. And the Orange really just sharing the wealth on offense right now. 22 as a team. No one's got more than 5.
Everyone's getting a piece of the pie here in this 13-0 run. 8 of their last 9, the Orange are on fire.
Well, finally, Janae Brantley ends the run. It was 13-0 Syracuse. And now the Orange can try and get the last shot of this first quarter.
Over a span of 5 minutes and 8 seconds, Adam, it was a tough 5 minutes for Stony Brook.
Well, there's a turnover, and Brantley does get it off, but she can't knock it down. And so a big run for the Orange to end the... Cindy, thank you so much. Coach McCorvey talked about last season really being a developmental one, looking to this year to take that next step as a team, as their squad does force a foul in the opening seconds of this second quarter. But Danny, it was overall just a tough one, especially on offense for the Seawolves in that first. The Syracuse defense playing a big part in that. There's just so much pressure.
So much pressure, so much size, so much physicality. I keep talking about the paint, but that's really the big factor so far in that first quarter. Nothing was allowed in that little orange jail Syracuse has on their side.
Igbirika gives it up, but she does force a foul in the process. When we talked to Coach McCorvey before the game, she said, yeah, look, I know that it's going to be an issue going up against this size, as actually the ball will be Syracuse's, but she said, you know what, we just got to trust us, do our thing, and a big part of that is not freaking out whenever they get double teamed, not freaking out if they get into situations where they have to pick up their dribble, and just trying to stay composed, which is a tough thing to do, especially when you're in an arena this size.
And especially as a young team as well. Composure is something that you learn with time.
Zoj coming to work, and that's just too easy. Quickly down the other way, and nothing going for Igbirika. Rejected. But the foul will keep it here.
Yeah, Zoje trying to get it done on both ends. She's going to be a problem for teams in this conference this year. A problem.
Zoje again, just a freshman. She was a late add to this Syracuse team, wasn't officially announced until the summer. Had never been to the United States of America until June. Still taking some time for her to learn English and learn everything about what it's like to be an American college student, but says that her teammates love her. Here comes Brantley, and she puts it in. Some big points there for the leader of the Seawolves offense, and she's up to 6 already. She's got more than half of her team's points.
Yeah, the offense runs through her, and you can see why.
Darius off the glass and in. How about Dominique Darius? She did not play too much at USC last year. It's a tough thing to do playing at one of the best places in the country, but she's expected to be this. Camden Nelson easily breaks.
Orange shooting over 63% from the field tonight.
Burrows trying to do it all. Darius with 5 on the clock has got to do something. Pulls up from deep, and that's too short. But he's Oche with the offensive rebound. Big pressure from behind. Frau Garcia pokes it away. Nice bounce pass. Mwanza can't get it to go, but she is mauled down low by Ayindamola Akimbawala. And there's the first foul on the transfer from Auburn, Akimbalawa, and it will be 2 shots for the Seawolves.
First time we've really heard Big O's name tonight. Transfer from Auburn after averaging 3.4 points per game. She's going to be a big, big asset. I guess that's why they call her Big O.
Syracuse makes a substitution. Darius heads off, and Jasmine Cooper checks in for the first time today. The top-rated recruit in this year's freshman class, the 60th ranked player according to ESPN in the class of 2025. So you take a look there at Jasmine Cooper, a 4-star from Northeastern Mass, just south of Boston. As Wanza can't connect on either.
State champ as well.
Now a pair of freshmen on the court for Syracuse. But it's the experienced transfer, Akimbalawa, who loses it, and a jump ball. Possession arrow faces Stony Brook's way. Maddie Potts also on the floor now for the Orange. Syracuse has already shown 12 players, and we're not even 15 minutes into this season. 9 different players have scored. No one has more than 5 points. Now Garcia to the corner, and Brantley stepped out. That's another turnover for the Seawolves, already 7, and a lot of them seemingly pretty unforced.
Still getting outnumbered in the turnover margin by Syracuse somehow, even though the Syracuse is a 16-point lead.
Orange have 8 turnovers. They've played sloppy themselves. Looking to clean that up, though, here in the second quarter.
Tried to get the switch there. Couldn't get it. It's going to lead to a mismatch in that foul.
That foul against Janae Brantley, her second. She's got to be careful. If Brantley has to head to the bench in foul trouble, then there's a lot of questions about where any offense will come from for Stony Brook. It's a team that averaged less than 60 points last season. Lost its top scorers, lost 40 points from last year's team. But here's Caitlin Frost, puts it off the glass and in. She's expected to pick up a lot of that scoring, averaged just about 10 per game as a freshman last season at St. Bonaventure, had 13 in the exhibition, and she's got 6 already herself. How about a 3-pointer? That's off the mark, though, from Akimbalawa. That'll stay on this end of the floor. Journey Thompson, Chloe Oliver both checking back into the game. Frost draws the foul and draws a pair of shots.
Syracuse foul, number 30, Jasmine Cooper. First person.
Stony Brook 50% from the free throw line tonight, Adam. 2 for 4 so far. Gotta lock that in.
If you want to upset an ACC team, you have to do those little things right and make your free throws. That foul went against Camden Nelson, her first, as make it 2 for 5 from the charity stripe. And 3 for 6, still 50%. Stony Brook at half the points of Syracuse. Nelson commanding the offense. The coaches have praised her work ethic a ton, as that does go off the foot of the freshman, but Camden Nelson was said to be as hard, if not harder of a worker by Kyrie Carter than Deasia Fair, which is not a very light thing. Deasia Fair, one of the best scorers in college basketball history. And apparently, Camden Nelson works just as hard at this point as a freshman, so she's got a very bright future ahead of her.
Big shoes to fill.
Cooper's baseline drive, and she runs into a double team, but the position arrow keeps it on this end of the floor. Syracuse hasn't scored in about 3 minutes. They've got 4 turnovers in that span. Just sloppy on offense right now, Danny.
The biggest lead they've had so far tonight, 16-point lead, and it's dwindling down right now.
Offensive rebound and the putback good for the freshman Jasmine Cooper. She's a very impressive athlete, 6'1", but has the skills of a guard, can play down low like a forward, as out of bounds the call, as Chloe Oliver just couldn't keep her heel in.
Hopefully that gets the ball rolling. Syracuse had 5 turnovers in just 4 minutes in that last few possessions.
Ophelia keeps it in, backing her way to the basket, and that's way off the mark. Thompson fighting for it. It pinballs around and goes the other way. Back in action here, the Stony Brook team with still just 13 points on the day. They're having a lot of trouble with Syracuse's defensive pressure, as Mwanza does draw the foul. And the question is whether or not she'll head back to the free throw line, and it appears that she will. They'll say that was a shooting foul.
Yeah, Adam, Syracuse defense has been dynamite so far tonight, but the offense, talk about the season opener, Syracuse has been really, really good in the season openers. Last time they lost a season opener, Adam, Camden Nelson was less than a month old.
All the way back in 2007. Free throws in, and the Syracuse team is trying to get something going on offense in this second quarter. They have just 6 points so far. Turnovers have been an issue. Let's see if Ophelia can kickstart something. She dives through the entire defense, but misses the layup. And yet another jump ball. Possession arrow faces the way of the Seawolves.
Adam, that's not the first time that's happened. This has happened a bunch of times. Syracuse kind of throws it to the dogs inside the paint. There's a swarm of Stony Brook defenders in the paint, and they just kind of dish it up in there. I don't know what they think's going to happen there, but got to have some smarter passes that don't lead to turnovers.
Neither of these teams have really threatened much with the outside shot. Just one combined made three-pointer. That came from Syracuse and Layla Ophelia right near the start of this game. Stony Brook 0 for 2 from deep. As Frost can't do anything with it. A turnover that goes against Melissa Mwanza, a offensive 3 seconds call. And so there's yet another turnover. Once again, that full court press, more of just an ushering up the floor, take some of the time off, not necessarily going for the turnover. Full speed inside to Burrows, and a nice job to knock it away.
There it is again, Adam.
Syracuse has the size advantage by a lot in this game, and it seems like they're just trying to fully take advantage of that.
They're making it work in the paint on one end, but just not the other.
Well, Joy McCorvey talked about with us pregame about how she has an excellent practice squad of male practice players that really helps prepare her team for games like this. She's finally the first Syracuse player to cross 5 points, but she misses the second. Garcia aces a double and traveled in the process.
Just ran into Azoje there and took a few steps. Can't do that. Good defense by the Orange.
These two teams are tied at 7 so far in this second quarter. No one can get anything going on offense.
Adam, we keep talking about the turnovers, but teams haven't capitalized off these turnovers. Syracuse, 5 points off turnovers. Stony Brook, 4 points off turnovers. And both double-digit turnovers.
Ophelia taken over by herself, and she's up to 8. Brantley into the corner. Here's a tray from Veretti, but that one is too strong.
Just their third three-point attempt.
Burrows off the front of the rim, but the offensive rebound and the putback good for Shy Hawkins.
Initially a wide-open Ophelia in the corner. I'm shocked she didn't hit her.
Does result in points, though, and Syracuse now up by 16, and layup misses, and here comes Syracuse down the court again with Hawkins. Roll up, that's around and out.
Still looking for that largest lead of the game. They've been kind of gridlocked at that 16-point mark.
And yet another jump ball. Possession arrow back to their size at 6'2".
Their tallest player.
We'll keep an eye on her. As Velez is too strong, and a foul. That goes. It looks like that might be against Janae Brantley, and it is. That's her third already. And so Stony Brook's star already into some foul trouble.
The majority of their points as well. You need Brantley on the court if you want a shot at this game.
She's got 6 of the 15 and has no choice but to go to the bench. So it seems like for the final 2 minutes and 2 seconds of this first half, Stony Brook will be without its leader.
Okay, thank you.
Johanna Potter, the freshman, comes in. Ophelia thought about the 3. Instead takes it towards the baseline and puts the layup off the glass.
Well, that was great ball handling right there by Ophelia. That is what we saw at Michigan.
She's into double digits, and Syracuse leads by 18. Frost loses her dribble, but regains it. Here's a triple. Beretti knocks it down. She needed that one. The transfer from Jackson State scores her first points.
Beretti had all the time in the world when she set her feet. Got to kind of take a breath and then just laces it. Also the first 3 for the Seawolves.
Ophelia asking for the screen from Fitzgerald. Kicks out to the corner. Scott's got to go. The floater's good. That's a nice move from Kira Scott with the clock expiring. She's got 4 points on the day.
Velez coming back.
College basketball, if you can hold your own, you can make the NCAA tournament. To do that, you always have to win games like this early in the season. That's where Syracuse faltered last year, dropping some early season games to non-Power 5 teams. They lost to St. Joe's, UAlbany. Need to pick up wins in games like this, and off to a really strong start, up by 16 here with under a minute to go in the first half. The Orange could go 2 for 1 on this possession if they go quick. Les trying to do that, but loses control of her dribble. And loses possession.
Yeah, Adam, that's just a sloppy turnover, to say the least. Wanted to rush it, get that 2 for 1. A lot of teams you see now, they try and force that 2 for 1. It's a stat that a lot of teams are really trying to go for, but the logistics say it's not that helpful.
Raul Garcia going through everyone and wanted the foul. Now Pierce Scott on the other end. Gets rejected. What a block by Potter. Raul Garcia, shots for Sandra Raul Garcia. This is the first. Raul Garcia started her collegiate career at the JUCO level at Casper College out in Wyoming. A native of Pego, Spain, just outside of Valencia. She missed both free throws. Now Syracuse can get the final points of this first half. Ophelia thought about the step back, now gives it off to Scott. Gotta go, puts up a shot and just can't get it to fall. Here's the leading scorer in the first half for Stony Brook, Caitlin Frost, who gets the offensive rebound, fighting for it with Sophie Burrows, and the possession arrow will give the ball to Cuse.
Syracuse out-rebounded Stony Brook in that first half, 27-15. They dominated the paint. Keep talking about it, but it's true. It's been their bread and butter so far this game.
Both teams have their starting lineups out on the floor, as that's going to be an offensive foul. That goes against Uche Izoje. Actually, it's going to be another jump ball, it looks like, not an offensive foul. So possession arrow just flipping back and forth. It's a great defensive play to just get hand on the ball.
Okay, I got a little tied up there in the paint, Adam.
Raul Garcia. And that one's a foul against Izoje. That was maybe just 10 seconds early, not even wrong. That is the second foul, or third foul, I should say, against Izoje. Raul Garcia through traffic, kicks it out. A three-pointer is money for Chloe Oliver. And that is a big one for the junior. That's just the third made three of the game for Stony Brook, and it's back to a 13-point deficit.
And that's 3 in a row for Stony Brook. They're starting to heat up from three-point land, and that's dangerous.
Now 3 for 6 on the day. If you want to come back, three-pointer is an easy way to do it. Dome crowd on its feet waiting for Syracuse's first points of the half, and Dominique Darius says, hey, you guys can all sit down. She does it herself, and she's back up by 15 points. This lead has really gone between about 10 and 20 points recently. Syracuse hasn't extended it any further beyond that, as there's a foul that goes against Mwanza. That's her first of the game.
Adam, we keep talking about, you know, they're really heating up from three-point land. That's because Syracuse is daring them to shoot. They're saying, we have got the paint locked up. Try something else. And Stony Brook has. They've adapted well, and it's working.
Here's this full-court press again. Sophie Burrows trying to break it, and she does. Ophelia open in the corner, too short. Darius tracks down the rebound. Here's Burrows now in the opposite corner, and that one's too short. The foul, offensive against Izoje. She was fighting for positioning, and that is already number 4 on the freshman. Touched on in the first half, but foul trouble might be an issue for her early this season. Just getting accustomed to how they play out here in the U.S. She had never been to America before June.
Yeah, some of the rules a little different. You cannot be as physical as you can overseas, but I think she'll adapt pretty quickly.
Raul Garcia had just 1 assist in the first half, known for what she can do in terms of distributing. Was 11th in the Missouri Valley Conference last year in assists. As there's another foul against the Orange. We'll go down to Sydney Couillet for more on Sandra Raul Garcia.
Born and raised in Pego, Spain, Sandra Frau Garcia has used basketball as a passport to a new start in America. She began her collegiate career at Casper College in Wyoming, then moved to Chicago to play for the University of Chicago, and now she is in Long Island, New York, ready to make her mark at Stony Brook.
Thanks so much, Sydney. Yet another foul. It has been a ugly start to this second half. Fouls all over the place, jump balls. That one goes against Layla Felia.
Her first of the night.
Brantley, got to get something going on offense. She's the leader. She tries to do it herself, but just lost control and loses the ball. So the Orange take over, and we'll see this full court press in action once again.
They tried to draw the foul, but Syracuse was not going to bite.
Garcia steals it, goes down the court, and can't finish. Darius with good contested defense, but she loses it right away. Frau Garcia has it back, and it's poked away from her. Oh, man, oh, man.
Frau Garcia, 2 opportunities there for some easy buckets, and just couldn't capitalize on 2 really good opportunities to try and get her Seawolves back in this contest.
Syracuse has already turned the ball over 15 times in this game. As that jumper doesn't fall, Nelson going to war for that rebound, and she comes up with it.
When we talk about the turnovers, 15 already, and then again at halftime we talked about that gauntlet of a schedule. 15 turnovers, Adam, that's just not going to fly against Duke, against a Louisville.
Well, not as Melissa Wanza almost forces another turnover. The possession era will keep the ball on this end of the floor. Camden Nelson, the freshman, set to inbound. Nowhere to go for Velez, and that's going to be an offensive 3 seconds call against the freshman in white, wearing number 22. That's Justice Fitzgerald. Didn't play too much in the first half, but she's got a lot of pedigree to her name. Deep 3, way off the mark from Caitlin Frost. She was a 35% three-point shooter at St. Bonaventure this past year. 1 for 2 from deep to start off her Stony Brook career. There's an off-ball foul that goes against Chloe Oliver, her second of the game. There's already been 6 fouls between both teams in the first 3+ minutes of this second half. Nelson puts it on the deck, kicks it out to Felia, the extra pass to Velez. Felia open again, and she misses again. And the ball goes the other way. Felia 1 for 4 from deep. She just can't connect right now.
And again, 3rd straight miss from those corners. Hasn't been able to knock down that 3-pointer. It's got 1 today, but hasn't come easy.
Stony Brook hasn't scored in 2.5 minutes. Caitlin Frost and the drought. Good pass to Mwanza, but way off the mark, and Nelson comes down with it. Camden Nelson already with 5 rebounds in this game as Fitzgerald goes to work on the other end, uses the backboard. And a timeout called by one of the officials, Ashley.
She continues to develop for the Orange.
A 6'1" forward. They're so athletic. That's really the thing that you notice with a lot of the players that Syracuse has brought in this season, and really not just this season, as Frau Garcia knocks one down and picks up her first points. But you look at the freshmen from last year's team, and Kira Scott, Cy Hawkins, there's so many wings who are 6'1", 6'2", that Syracuse becomes such a tough team to play against, as that time they just can't get over midcourt. Another turnover, that time a 10-second violation.
Yeah, again, Adam, it's just they're playing sloppy. They have a big lead, but the offense isn't working. They're getting a lot of their points from defense, from the turnovers. especially in transition as well. They haven't had a lot of set plays where they've scored off of the plays they've set up. Maybe I gotta go back to the drawing board.
Meaning all the way to the rack, off the mark, an offensive rebound, and the putback is true from Wanza. Alyssa Wanza started her day 0 for 9 from the field. She finally makes her first as Burrows misses another. Felia comes flying in. Fitzgerald the rebound, and finally a whistle blows as there's a couple players on the deck. And Syracuse will get a pair of shots from the free throw line after this is all said and done, but some concern now for Melissa Mwanza, who we saw down earlier, tending to her left knee. And the trainers will head back out there.
Adam, that's the second time Mwanza's hit the deck pretty hard, and this time it looks pretty serious.
Mwanza, transfer from Louisiana Tech, known for what she can do when it comes to rebounding. She has 7 already in this game. She had more rebounds than points last season. A native of Zimbabwe, played in the Junior NBA World Championships for Team Africa. Was a netball player, a handball player, and of course now playing collegiate basketball. They're looking again at that left knee, which she tweaked earlier in the game. Harold misses the first free throw. And gets the second one to roll in.
Syracuse 42, Stony 28.
Stony Brook does lead this second half by 2 points right now. They've outscored Syracuse 7-5. We're all even ever since the first quarter. 14-point lead for Syracuse. That's where it was at the end of 10 minutes. Stony Brook still trying to cut deeper into it. Now Garcia has to reset. Brantley from the corner, just way too short.
Slowing the pace down here, Adam. Haven't seen this yet from them.
Velez got to do something because time running out. 3 on the shot clock, forces up a shot off the back iron. Just a tough offensive possession there from Syracuse. Stony Brook really needs to bounce back. The Orange are giving them a chance to crawl back into this game. Here would be a big one, and it is, as Brantley knocks down the deep one. Stony Brook shooting 4 for 8 from beyond the arc, and they've cut it to an 11-point game.
Here come the Seawolves, and they're doing it just how we said, the three-point ball.
Felia to the rack, way too strong, and the rebound for Frost. Frau Garcia has numbers ahead, a 3-on-2. Brantley bobbled it for a second. Frost is open, and she connects. Oh man, another deep ball, and it is an 8-point game in the Dome. Felicia Leggett-Jack furious on the bench. She calls timeout. How about these Seawolves? They won't go down without a fight. A pair of three-pointers. She still plays a little bit of basketball, and she was pretty good. How about pretty good there? The three-point shooting from Caitlin Frost. My goodness, we've got a 5-point game.
I mean, just out of nowhere, Stony Brook 9-0 run now in just under 2 minutes. They are on fire, Adam.
It's all the three-pointers. Felia almost turned it over. What a pass behind the back, and Darius puts it in. Does Sophie Burrows have eyes in the back of her head? How did she do that?
Oh my goodness, that was nasty.
Why not another three? Well, I guess maybe it might be a little bit too short. So finally, Syracuse ends the run. Now Shy Hawkins trying to make it a mini Syracuse run, but she can't connect on the fadeaway as Alex Brown, the freshman, with the rebound. Brown playing big minutes now after the injury to Melissa Mwanza. But a turnover and back the other way. Burrows to the corner. Darius thought about it, instead drives in. Shy Hawkins with yet another offensive rebound and score. That's the third time she's done that today.
Darius with a really nice ball handle right there. Almost had a really nice shot, dished it off, and Syracuse still comes away with points in the paint.
Frost puts it on the deck, and that can't roll in. Thompson loses control, but Shy Hawkins there to clean it up. And she's been perfect at that today. There's a loose ball under the hoop. Just get Shy Hawkins down there to pick it up and put it in.
Yeah, a lot of those look what I found for Shy Hawkins.
Cuse back up by 11 now. And they want to keep this in double digits. Whenever the score gets below that, that's when the other team starts to season. She's into double digits here in the opener. She actually had her best scoring game of the season last year in the opener. Scored 16 against Niagara, but that was a game in which Syracuse basically scored whenever it wanted to. The Orange were in triple digits.
Syracuse starting to figure it out now just a little bit. 9-0 run under 2 minutes. I think it's because they went to a 2-3 zone at them. They're starting to switch it up defensively.
Key possession here for Stony Brook. Into the corner, open three, Frau Garcia. That's off the mark. Felia with the rebound. Out in transition, Darius off the paint and in. And 10 seconds to go in this third quarter. Syracuse has flipped the game on its head, a 10-0 run in the last 2 minutes. Pull-up jumper for Oliver, that can't go. And how about the closeout of the third quarter for the Orange? It felt like Stony Brook was back into the game, but Syracuse said, nope, this is our house. This is our game. The Orange lead it by 15. She's exited twice already with a couple of big hits. An and one. How about it from Caitlin Frost? She has been incredible in this game. 18 points already for the Stony Brook transfer.
Yeah, she's been absolutely dynamite here. You see drawing the foul. Not a lot of contact there. Still gets the foul. Little flex from Frost, and she'll have a chance for a three-point play.
Foul goes against Sophie Burrows. That's her first. Let's see if Frost can finish off the three-point play. She does. Caitlin Frost's career high, 19 points. She did that against St. Louis last year, and she's tied that in just her first game at Stony Brook. I'll tell you what, Joy McCorvey's got to be pretty happy with what she's got from her body.
I would be too, 19 points.
That leads all scores. She's the only Stony Brook player in double figures. Oh, step back, Darius. Oh, just off the mark. That would have been unbelievable. Syracuse taking its time now. Let's see what Felia comes up with. Off to Burrows. Shot clock winding down. Kick out Felia. That's off the mark, but the offensive rebound for Burrows, and it's off the front of the rim. Thompson on the third chance puts it in.
Journey Thompson just ball falling right into her mitts, puts it up and in. Great play right there by Journey Thompson, veteran forward in her second season here at Syracuse.
They get 15 offensive rebounds, 13 second chance points for the Cuse as another and one opportunity. Mwanza off the backboard and in. And this Stony Brook team won't go down without a fight.
Yeah, they just keep clawing right back. Here you see the replay. Little fake to the left side, off the glass. Nice shot there. She'll head to the line. Seawolves lucky to have Mwanza back on the court.
She has fought through a lot in this game. She's played 20 minutes already, and she misses the and one opportunity. Stony Brook just 50% from the free throw line today, 6 for 12. Hawkins' pass not deflected. The Syracuse bench was asking for it. Instead, it is yet another turnover. That is number 19 on the day for Syracuse. Frau Garcia given the right side, and she's given all the room in the world to maneuver, but it can't maneuver that far. Steps out of bounds, and it goes back to Cuse. That's Frau Garcia's 5th turnover of the game. She's just faced so much pressure as Thompson's all alone, and that's just too easy.
Another great pass right there by Burrows. Kind of looked like we were going to see a skyhook. Nope. Finds her teammate. Nice pass.
Syracuse gets into double-digit assists, 10 as a team, as once again, out of bounds. Bianca Beretti just stepped on the line. And man, we've seen that 4 or 5 times from Stony Brook in this game.
A lot of problems on that baseline.
Thompson into the paint, and she puts that one in. 8 points for the junior.
Super soft touch right there from Journey Thompson. Just kind of floated it right in. Great basket.
Frau Garcia, nice pass. Mwanza with the finish.
Burrows just kind of let her get in front of her right there. Not great defense from Syracuse star.
This team's just flying up and down the court right now. A little bit too physical defensively from Mwanza, and she picks up her 2nd foul. Actually, they give that foul on Frau Garcia for the reach-in, her first. So Mwanza still with just 1 foul. Pair of substitutes. It's the 2 top scorers for Stony Brook back into this game, Janae Brantley and Caitlin Frost, to imagine for the remainder. Catch and shoot for Burrows, just off the mark. It's been a really tough day for Sophie Burrows. Just 2 points, 7 for 8 from the field, 0 for 3 from deep.
It's been a tough game for Syracuse regardless from the floor. 26 of 56. Really want to see them start knocking down a lot of those mid-range jump shots, open looks. Got to knock them down if you want to compete in the ACC.
A timeout called. Syracuse leading by 14, or actually miss. She was a 35% three-point shooter last season, as Burrows with the pass. It's just lost by Hawkins. A 2-on-1, Igbirika stops and puts it in. Igbirika, the junior transfer from Odessa College, a JUCO, with her first points. Has some hard contact down low. That'll be a blocking foul against Igbirika.
Seawolves fans holding their breath. They see Mwanza go down hard yet again in the paint. Luckily this time she gets back up, looks all right.
That is the 4th foul on Abere Igbirika in just 11 minutes. Nice move by Thompson, rejected at the hoop by Brantley. Felia pulls up, and that's money. What a smooth jumper from Layla Felia, and she's got 12 on the day. And Felia takes it away. She's got Hawkins all alone, and Syracuse starting to run away with it. Orange lead by 16, and no choice but to call a timeout for Joy McCorvey.
It's a good timeout from Coach McCorvey right there. Syracuse obviously with momentum, and they're just really starting to roll now. 5 of their last 7. Syracuse, again, the momentum is really in favor of the Orange right now.
The Orange turning defense into offense. Layla Felia with the steal, and Shy Hawkins on the other end. She leads the Orange with 13 points on the day.
There it is again. Shy Hawkins, man, she's been just incredible so far for Syracuse. You've seen just a lot of life coming off the bench for Shy Hawkins. You know, she's a returner. She's a versatile 6'2" wing. Played 27 games last year for Syracuse. Only started once as a freshman. Averaged 4.2 points per game.
Gonna have a great season this year, and that's been a good start for her.
And I think that exact quote just speaks volumes for the Syracuse offense. I mean, you see the rotations. Look how many players have scored. Over 11 players have scored today for the Orange. So not seeing these players as, oh, you're a freshman, you're a senior, so we're going to get more minutes, is a great mentality to have as a head coach.
Syracuse has played 13 players in this game, as there's a foul on the floor against Shy Hawkins.
Just a little too physical with the bumping. That'll be a foul.
Frau Garcia to inbound. Wanza kicks out to the corner. Frau Garcia, nice pass. Brantley the open triple, and it's just off the mark, but an offensive rebound for Iberica.
Adam, Stony Brook's got to get a little more aggressive here.
And over and back. And it goes back to Cuse.
A long...
Yes, and the ball goes back the other way. Darius, one of this team's captains. She's got a great connection to Syracuse. Her father, you may recognize the last name, Donovan Darius, a star football player for the Orange, then played in the NFL for the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Miami Dolphins. I guess it's just something with Felicia Leggett-Jack. She has to have a player whose dad was a star named Donovan for the football team. Of course, Lexi McNabb's dad, Donovan McNabb, and Lexi was a big player the last 3 years for the Cuse. Kira Scott draws the foul. Scott's father also played football at Syracuse, her dad, George. So many connections within this Orange family. Now Kira Scott with a chance for two. She's got 4 points already on the day. That's her first chance from the free throw line. She shot 75% from the stripe last season. Uche Izoje checks back in, the 6'3" center for Syracuse. Freshman picked up 4 fouls in just 10 minutes. It's going to be a big thing to watch for her all season. Can she stay out of foul trouble? While she's on the floor, you know that she's going to be an impact player, but how long can she be on the floor for? Scott makes the back end, splits at the line. She's 6 for 9 at the free throw line to start this game. A step up from last time out in the exhibition where they missed 13 free throws. If Stony Brook wants to get back into this game, they've got to start soon, down by 17. Frau Garcia can't connect on the jumper from the short corner. Hawkins fouled. And that is the 4th of the 4th quarter.
Really no choice but to foul on these rebounds. Syracuse has just been way more physical than Stony Brook on the rebounds. 49 rebounds the Orange have as opposed to Stony Brook's 26 rebounds. I mean, dominated is an understatement on the glass, Adam.
You know, Danny, I think even the more, telling stat than that is that Syracuse has 16 offensive rebounds to Stony Brook's 17 defensive. Well, there is a defensive rebound, so make it 18 on the day, that time from Diaka Beretti. She's in her 6th year of college basketball and has it taken away by another super senior, Darius. The extra pass, and Darius on the alley-oop layup.
A little hot potato right there in the paint for the Orange.
Cuse up by 19. They want to get that lead to 20 for the first time today. Seawolves don't want to let that happen. Iberica in trouble. Potter faces a lot of contact. The freshman is fouled. Johanna Potter, native of Stockbridge, Georgia, went to the Wesleyan School, which Max Preps named the #1 athletic school in the state of Georgia. She was a big part in their girls basketball team, which won 6 straight state titles at one point in the early 2010s. Now the 6-foot freshman with a pair of shots from the free throw line. She knocks down the first, and finally Stony Brook ends its 3-minute scoring drought.
3-sport athlete as well, played basketball, softball, and track. That always helps.
Just a pure athlete out on the court.
Pretty good in those respective sports as well.
instructions. On the roll, Zoje, and the foul. Uche Izoje giving the fans something to cheer about in her debut.
Haven't heard
She's got a
Izoje now with a chance to extend their highest lead of the game, which was 20, get back to that margin. Just 67 points for the Orange right now as Izoje awaits the shot.
And she nails the free throw. That's what you love to see from a freshman big. Making your free throws. Syracuse 7 for 10 from the line today. And up by 20 for the first time. Stony Brook hasn't made a field goal in over 3.5 minutes. The Syracuse defense will not slow down. Beautiful bounce pass, and there's a field goal as Alana Sellers puts it in, the Central Connecticut State transfer.
Syracuse is playing with a lot of pace here, Adam. Now they'll slow it down, but again, a lot of points in transition.
Zoje putting on the deck, the spin and the finish.
Zoje looking like a point guard out there, Adam.
That was impressive, wasn't it?
Oh.
The freshman showing off her moves. She can do more than just play in the paint. Felicia Leggett-Jack calls timeout just to make a couple of subs. We'll take another look at that. How about the spin and the finish? I mean, she's got that ability to just rise above the defense. It's almost one of those unstoppable plays if she can get to her spot.
If your 6'3" center is looking like that, I mean, look out.
Cooper and Fitzgerald, two of the freshmen for the Orange, back out on the court. 4 freshmen on right now, in addition to Layla Felia, so seeing the youngsters get a chance here in the final minutes. As that 3 off the mark from Potter.
Syracuse still looking for their largest lead of the night. Most they've led is 20 as of right now.
A little bit of contact, and Camden Nelson will find herself at the free throw line. Syracuse makes another substitution. Now it's Maddie Potts checking in. Potts in her second full season with the Orange. Joined the team as an early enrollee back in 2024. Averaged 3 points per game last season. Has played just 3 minutes today.
Adam, that's going to be it for Ibuka. 5 fouls. She'll have to sit on the end of the bench. Her night is over.
Ibuka's debut for Stony Brook ends with just 2 points, and as you said, 5 fouls in 16 minutes. Delaney Cooper, one of the other freshmen for Stony Brook on the court, another Georgia native. Peretti spins, puts it up, and Zoje with the rebound. Under a minute to go. Let's see what these youngsters can do on offense for the Orange.
Zoje wants it bad. There she goes.
Wanted it and got it. Zoje into double figures in her Cuse debut. She's got 11.